friends, welcome back to my channel. I am Neva, and today we are doing a bonus episode, a very special bonus episode of Kindle Unlimited Clean Out. So if you are new to the channel and you have not watched any of the KU Clean Out episodes, we should have 3 by the time that you're seeing this, but let's talk about what KU Clean Out is. So this is my version of cleaning out one of my TBRs. So a lot of my friends have done physical TBRs, some have done Kindle TBRs, and it seems that the place that books go to die for me is Kindle Unlimited. So I've decided that I'm going to do a Kindle Unlimited version of this challenge, project, whatever you want to call it. So I have a couple of rules for myself. The number 1 rule is that I cannot get rid of KU books without having tried reading them first. And then the other rule is that I cannot replace KU books until I've read the ones that are in my checkouts. So I currently do have 20 books checked out in KU. Now I do give myself a few exceptions here. So one exception is if I own the book physically and I'm wanting to read it on KU because it is available that way, I will allow myself to go ahead and check it out if I have an empty spot. I will also allow myself to check out buddy reads on KU again if I have an empty spot. But I cannot I can't say like, oh, I'm gonna buddy read this book with Brittany and I have no extra spots. I would have to find the book in a different way. So physically or from the library, those are my rules for myself. I hope that they make sense and make sense to me. But I am allowed to DNF books if I do not like them. There's just so many books to read and not enough time to be reading books we don't enjoy. So I will allow myself to DNF, but I try not to. So today, we're doing a really special version of KU Clean Out where we are focusing solely on hockey romances. This is a collab that was created by Vanessa from Reads with Dr. B, and I'm doing it with a bunch of different people that I will have linked down below. So we're going to use a spinner wheel like we would for KU Clean Out, but this spinner wheel specifically only has the hockey romances in my Kindle Unlimited that I currently have downloaded. So yeah, I have a lot of them. Okay, I have like 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 20-ish. No, that's not right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I have 10 KU books that are hockey romance. So these are specifically ones from my KU. These are not like Kindle books that I own that are also found on KU. I thought about doing that, but that seemed like a lot of effort and work. So we are simply doing ones that I have downloaded. So I have 10, which is about half of my checkouts. So let's go ahead and spin for book number 1. Okay, so the first book that we got was The Deal by L. Kennedy. I don't really know anything about this book other than I believe it is the first in a series of standalones. I've read L. Kennedy books before. I cannot think of what they were called off the top of my head. If I can remember, I will insert pictures of the ones that I've read here. They weren't my favorite, but they were not sports romances either. So this looks like we're following Hannah Wells. And it's a hockey romance, obviously. So it looks like we're following Hannah and Garrett, I think. So Garrett is a hockey player who wants to become professional after he graduates. And Hannah, it looks like, ends up tutoring him. Is that what's happening here? So content makes him take notice, even if it means tutoring. Yes, okay. So Hannah is tutoring Garrett, apparently, and that leads to shenanigans. This does have a note at the bottom that says originally published in 2015. This is an updated, edited version. So I don't know really what that means. Like, I don't know if maybe like the original version was like indie published. I'm not really sure, but that is what we're going to start with, is The Deal by Elle Kennedy, and this is the first book in the off-campus series. Like I said, I believe these are a series of standalones. So the cover looks like this. It's actually a pretty cute cover. But I believe that this is a series of standalones. I know nothing of this book. I know that it's a very beloved book. I know that a lot of people really like this book, so I'm praying that I too will like this book. That's what I'm praying for. Yeah, it's about 400 pages. It's just under 400 pages, so I'm hoping that I love this. And I don't really know what to say about this book because I know nothing of it. So I'm gonna go start this, and we're gonna see if I love it or not, I guess. I will say that if I do not love this book, I probably will not try any other Elle Kennedy books, because the two that I ended up putting up here so you could see what they were, I got the second one as an ARC. I remember that. And both of them I read with the same friends, and my friends liked them, but I think I gave the first one 4 stars and the second one I only gave 3. And so it was kind of like, not great, especially because back then I wasn't really in a romance era. So I'm hoping that I will like this one since it's hockey, but I will be back after I've read probably, I usually for vlogs like this check in at about 50%. So unless something crazy happens before 50%, I will be back when I've hit 50%. Hello friends. So it's been a little while since I have checked in for this vlog. So I'm here to let you know that I'm going to be DNFing The Deal. I made it about 20% into this book and I'm not enjoying it. I just don't care about the characters. I'm not sure that Elle Kennedy is really an author for me, if I'm honest. I've read 2 other books by her and I wasn't a huge fan of either one of them. I think the one I gave like 3 stars and the other I might have given like 4, but not a huge fan. So we're going to actually spin for a new book, but before we do, we're gonna talk for a minute about Pucking Sweet. This is a book I've been reading since January, but I'm going to include it in this vlog. Since this is a hockey romance vlog, I was kind of back and forth about doing it because technically I was doing this as a version of KU Clean Out, but technically this book you can read it on Kindle Unlimited, and if I didn't own the book, that's how I would have read it. I read the first 2 full-length novels on KU. So let's talk about this. I am about 65% into this book. I'm probably actually going to finish it during this vlog, but this is the 3rd full-length novel in the Jacksonville Ray series. We are following Poppy, Novi. Okay, we are following Poppy, Lucas, and Colton? Yes, Poppy, Lucas, and Colton in this book. This is like a true why choose, who's the daddy, like pregnancy trope in this one. I love these characters. They are fleshed out so well. We do meet Poppy, Colton, and Lucas all in Pucking Around originally, and then we do see bits and pieces of them in Pucking Wild. There is actually a scene that I'm waiting for it to be in this book that is in Pucking Wild, where Tess and Ryan from Pucking Wild walk in on something that's happening. So that's a whole thing. So I am not a fan of the pregnancy trope usually, but Emily Rath really did it well in this book. I feel like sometimes pregnancy tropes, excellent pregnancy tropes, are unnecessary, and I feel like a lot of times I read them and I'm like, we could have had this story without this element, and I will say that this book wouldn't have worked without that element. So I just wanted to come in and give an honorable mention for that, but we're gonna go ahead and spin for a new hockey romance. Let me just make sure I have them on this and not on my Kindle. not my Kindle, but my iPad. Okay, they're on my iPad. So let me grab my iPad so that we can go ahead and spin for this. I'm actually probably, honestly, I'm gonna just screen record. That's gonna be the easiest because I'm using my like little selfie stick thing, and it's gonna be kind of hard to film. So I'm gonna just insert the thing here, over here. Okay, I'm just gonna, let me scoot over a little bit so I have room. Here we go. So I'm just gonna put the screen recording here. So let me actually just start my screen recording. Okay, so I'm gonna put the screen recording up here and we're gonna go ahead and spin. Hopefully this is like in sync. I'll mess with it in post. So the next one we're going to read is Lines. I don't remember who this is by, but I'm gonna go look it up. So Lines, that's what we're going to be reading. Let me go pull that up in my Kindle app here. Lines. Alright, this is a hockey romance. Where? You between the lines? No. I'll just type in hockey romance behind it because it's having trouble like finding it, which is weird. Who is this book by? Alright, I'm having some trouble finding it. So let me pull it up on my actual Kindle. I was hoping I could just pull it up by searching, but it's going to be difficulty here. Alright, so Lines is by Anna B. Doe. So let me type that in. This is such a weird thing. Okay, here we go. So Lines by Anna B. Doe. This is a good girl, bad boy sports romance. So this is a hockey romance. It's the first in a series, so the first in the Greyford Wolves series. I know nothing about that, but it is 296 pages, and it says, senior year can't come or end fast enough for Amelia Campbell. For the shy, nerdy girl next door that she is, high school is torture, and all she wants is for it to be over. So it looks like this is a high school hockey romance, which I usually do college, but I'm okay with high school. I don't know if this is spicy or not. It says, having her heart broken by a popular womanizing boy all those years ago doesn't help matters, nor does her best friend, who still has a habit of mercilessly teasing her. Now she only has 1 year left, 1 year to be invisible before she can move on with her life. Derek King doesn't do drama, but his life is all about drama once Maximilian Sanders steps foot into his town, his school, and Amelia's life. Max is always around and making her smile again, but the boy who once broke her heart isn't ready to let her go. Older and wiser, Derek isn't about to let someone take away what he wants, and he wants Amelia. She's set on not believing in him, on not getting her heart broken once again. He is set on proving her wrong. She says she hates him, but maybe the line between past and present, love and hate, is thinner than she ever realized. I don't think this is going to be spicy because it is in the teen and young adult hockey category. So it looks like this is actually YA, which will actually be interesting. I don't read a lot of YA hockey romances, if I'm being honest. It's just not a thing that I'm super into most of the time, but I think this will be fun because, like I said, I don't really read YA hockey romance, but it's saying it's for 16 to 18-year-olds, so this might actually be a little refreshing. So we're gonna go ahead and start that. So I'm gonna go start that on my Kindle. This is Lines by Anna B. Doe. I've never read anything by this author, so this is going to be so fun to read, I think, and I'll be back when I have a check-in. Hello friends, I'm here to check in with this vlog, and it is to let you know that I am DNFing Lines at 64%. So I'm going to explain why I'm DNFing this book, because for the most part I was kind of enjoying it. Even though it is YA. So this is a YA hockey romance. It takes place while our two main characters are seniors in high school. And I was fine with that until we got relatively explicit spice. I don't want to read that. And here's the thing. I enjoy spice. I enjoy like a spicy book. Spicy books are fine. My issue with this one in particular is that the characters are written very young. Like sometimes I question if they're actually, you know, 17 and 18 years old, and then I remember that I have a brother who's 16 and he does act a lot like the characters in this book, which is fine. But we got to like 62% and we had a pretty explicit spice scene, and I don't want to read about teenagers having sex. So I'm going to DNF this book, which means that we need to try and spin for one more book. I will also be 100% transparent and say that I don't know that I will finish another book by the time this vlog is supposed to go up. But I'm going to spin for one more book and we'll see if I can finish it in time. So this is my wheel here. So let's go ahead and spin for one more book. Okay, Consider Me. Okay, I might be able to find this as an audiobook. So I'm gonna go see if I can find it as an audio. If not, I do have it on my Kindle. This is a an adult hockey romance. I believe it is spicy. Actually, I know it is because the first line, like, one of the characters is, you know, doing the deed. So that's fine. But maybe this one will be better for me spice-wise because it is adults, I believe, or it's adults regardless. But I think it could be considered new adult. It could be college, but I'm okay with college as long as they're over the age of 18. Like, I'm fine. And also not written super young. So I'm gonna go start this one and I will be back when I have hit 50% or finish the book. Hello friends, I am just here to close out this video. I have finished Consider Me by Becca Mack, and this was the last book for this vlog. So I am giving this book 6 stars, which means that out of the 4 books that I talked about in this vlog, I DNF'd 2 and I gave 2 6 stars. Technically, Pucking Sweet, I was already reading before this vlog ever started. I started that in January, but I finished it during the duration of this vlog. So I just wanted to pop in, say what I thought about them. Consider Me, I absolutely loved this book. I will be purchasing it and I will be continuing the series for this one. There was a lot of conflict in this one around like the lifestyle of hockey players and what that looks like for some hockey players, where they kind of are, well, they're not kind of, but they are, you know, womanizers and things like that. So I thought the conversations in this book were really good. There was some miscommunication in this that I didn't love, but for the most part, like, the vibe was there for me. I really loved our characters, so I can't wait to continue this one. So Consider Me is a 6 star. So like I said, that means that I read The Deal and Lines, which I DNF'd both of those for different reasons. Honestly, I would have finished Lines, and I think I actually would have really enjoyed it if there hadn't been explicit sex scenes in this one when it was marketed as being YA. I just didn't love that. And I really don't mind even if there is some sexual content, I guess, in a YA book, but this was like adult level spice in a YA book, and I didn't love that at all. The Deal, I just didn't really care about the characters. I won't be trying another Elle Kennedy anytime soon. And then Pucking Sweet, 6 stars. That entire series for me is a 6 star. And then Consider Me was also a 6 star. So that's all I have. Make sure to go down into the description box. There will be a playlist, and all of the friends that participated in this collab will also be down in there. So if this is the first video that you're seeing, you can follow that playlist and watch everyone else's videos. Make sure to go give them a like and let them know that you were sent from this collab. Thank you to Vanessa for asking me to participate in this collab. It was so much fun. I absolutely love hockey romance. And yeah, that's all that I really have. So if you don't have anything else that you want to say to me, or you're not feeling chatty, go ahead and leave me some kind of like a hockey emoji down in the description, and I will see y'all in the next one. Bye.